And we have to be careful, people, because we got people out here in this world, they'll want you to validate their presence. They'll want you to essentially tell them why you're here. They'll want you to show them proof how you live here. How do you get all this knowledge? How do you work at the same department in this job that I work at? How did you come to this college that I came to? They'll do that to you, people, and you have to be very careful with these people, because these people come with an envious and jealous spirit. They question you a lot. You can be working right next to these people, but they figure, how did you get here with the education that you got? Sometimes these people got more education than you, and they see you in the same building with them. They don't know the favor over your life. They don't know the work that you put in, but they feel like that your presence shouldn't be here. They'll question you, do you even work here at this job? They'll question you, how do you live in this neighborhood with me? Could you afford this house? How could you come to this restaurant that I eat at? How can you shop at the same place that I shop at? We have to be very careful of these people out here in this world, because people, they measure you. You know, they got this measuring stick that they think that you should live by. It's a lot of bias and you know, jealous and people who would discriminate against people from all walks of life. Don't matter about your race, your color, from your religion. You can be from a different place, you know, a different location, a different country. You got to be careful. These people will come and ask you essentially, who sent you? You know, can you show me proof of ID that you live here? How can you come in the same condominium building that I stay in? How could you afford this? How could you come to this college that I came to? These people sometimes are jealous of you. They see the light that's over you and they're wondering, how can you get here with me? But you got to understand, stop validating stuff with people who aren't valid. You know, we don't own nothing to nobody to tell them why we work at this job, why we work in this neighborhood, how you can afford this house, why you got married, why you got this car, whatever it is. These people got something against people and they think that you're not good enough because you're working the same job with them. Don't get it twisted, because I see a lot of people getting it twisted and they fall for the trap. They think these people are for them, and they're sitting there essentially explaining themselves to them. Oh yeah, I went to this college, you know, yeah, I got this letter of recommendation here. I seen it happen with too many young people at my job, where people were looking down on them, essentially asking them, how did you get here? Because sometimes them people had to take the long way out, you know. Sometimes them people did have to wait 15, 20 years, and here you come 2, 3 years later, and you just in the building after 2 years. They had to work 7, 8 departments before they made that jump. They got more education than you, but they don't know that presence that you got. You a born leader. That's why they jumped you to the top. They don't know the favor that God gave you. That's why God made you skip the line and took you up, and now you their boss. But these people don't want to recognize you, though. You know, they don't want to accept your presence. They don't think you should be there. And it happens everywhere I go, essentially. Even when I moved in my home, you know, I had neighbors asking me, is this your house? You know, basically asking me about the loan and the mortgage. And it's like, slow down, mind your business. Yeah. Thanks for welcoming me to the neighborhood. That was some type of welcome. But what you need to understand, these people are not going to welcome you. Everybody's not going to welcome you. And you're probably the type person who got a bright personality. Everywhere you go, your presence is felt. Everywhere you go, since high school, since junior high, since elementary, everybody noticed you. You might have been the prom queen, you know what I'm saying? The best dressed, the valedictorian. But sometimes when we go out to these places, we go out to these different locations, everybody's not going to recognize you. Everybody's not going to roll out that red carpet. And your aura could be as bright as the sun, you know. But these people are jealous of you. So they're going to question you. They're going to ask you what schools you went to. They're going to ask you about how you grew up. They're going to ask you how long are you staying here, basically. It happened to me at the expensive hotel I stayed one day on a trip, you know, me and my family. Here comes this guy and his wife and the kids, and he's essentially asking me, how can I afford to stay here? You know, how long are you staying here? 7 days. He was only staying 3, 4. Yeah, cash money, homie. Just a jealous and envious spirit. Just thought because he had something going on, he see me as a young black guy, because I knew he had a bias against him. He seen me coming in, and he didn't think I can afford these things that he had. I had people ask me that at baseball games and football games before. How did you get this seat at the 50-yard line? How did you get this front row ticket? The same place you got your ticket. going to Ticketmaster.com and putting the place in and buying the most expensive ticket to whatever ticket that you wanted. I wanted a good seat with me and my kids, and that's where we at right here in the front row. These people don't want to accept your presence. But guess what? You don't need to oppress them. You don't need to answer any questions, because guess what? We don't prove no points out here. At some point in your life, you go understand this. And the older I get, the more I understand. As long as God accepted me, God put me through them doors, I have nothing to explain to nobody. Me and God shook hands on that, and God is the one I serve. He's the one put me through these doors. I won't be giving people explanations on why I'm working this job, why I went to this college, why I got this degree. But that's what people gonna want you to do. They gonna want you to explain to them. They gonna question you a lot. But we don't prove no points at all. Who sent me? The Most High. You gotta tell them people to take it up with God. I don't know why I jumped up here and now I'm your boss, and you've been here 20 years in the department, kissing ass and trying to get here and get there, and it didn't work out for you. That's not my fault. My presence is gonna be felt here. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna work my job and do it how I gotta do. I'm gonna live in my home, in my neighborhood where I was blessed to live into. And I'm not gonna let anybody validate my presence. I just seen a story the other day when a young black teenager, he was walking around his neighborhood, and here come this guy stopping him, 2 guys stopping him, asking him, hey, you just walked by my house 4 times, He stay up the street. He on the same damn street as you. You sit here trying to validate this young guy presence because of some biased, racist way that your ass got. You know what I'm saying? That money you got, his parents got the same damn money. We all in the same neighborhood. So y'all got to be careful, my people, because when my presence is not allowed, where people don't accept me me, myself, I don't go. You know what I mean? I'm very, you know what I'm saying, question everything when I'm going to a restaurant, when I'm going to a mall. Even when you live in that, you got to question that, people. I know the grass is greener on the other side, but if you hear stories about it, and you know you come from a different background, a different race, you know, a different sex, whatever it is, and you know those people over there really don't accept people like you over there. I mean, my thing is, I'm not going over there. I'm not going in that restaurant where they don't accept people of my kind. I'm not going to that mall, to that hotel where they got stories of, you know, discriminating against people of all walks of life. My presence won't be felt there. I'm going to avoid that at all costs. But when God sent me somewhere, and God told me He told me to go here, He placed me over there in this building, He told me to move over here to the state, that's just what it is. Your presence is there. And it's go everywhere you go, somebody's not going to understand it. Somebody's not going to feel it. Somebody's going to try to compete with you. Somebody's going to try to compare you to somebody else. Somebody's going to think you don't deserve it. And that's what that essentially is. People want what you got sometimes. You know, that's why they doing all this validating and seeing where you at and looking at these levels. Sometimes these people want what you got. She couldn't be the manager of the job. That's why she kept comparing her education with mine. Yeah, you got more education than me. Yeah, your resume longer than mine. Lo and behold, God gave me favor, and He got me in the same department right next to you, making more money than you. Everywhere you go, somebody gonna be better, babe. She didn't understand how this life go. But more importantly, she didn't understand how God favor works. God favor don't depend on you. God didn't ask him. God didn't ask her. God gonna put you where He wants you to put you at. And guess what? He ain't asking nobody about it. Wherever God wants you at, you step there. You go there. You keep your head up proud and you walk in that door. You know, you walk in that marriage, you walk in that restaurant, you walk in that building, you walk in your office at your job. Because everybody ain't gonna feel your presence. And I know you bright. And I know some of y'all got that energy on 10. You keep it there. But understand, we don't have to serve them. You know, we don't have to be disrespectful to them. But, you know, we look up to the Most High, you know. And the Most High ain't comparing us. The Most High told us not to compete with people. And that's what we got to do, y'all. Forget people who trying to validate us and compare us and compete us. We just go keep doing what we doing, y'all. And standing tall. And that's all you can do. Motivation comes in many forms. Lamborghini Lamar.